So in today's video, we're going to be reviewing the Steam Deck. We're going to take a look at the design. We're going to look at the specs. We're going to look at how this device runs some gaming. And at the end, I'll give you guys my final verdict and impressions. Let's get into this. So to get started, I want to take a look at the design. I like the way this device looks, and I also like the way it feels in the hand. It is really wide. When you compare it to the One X Player, you're going to notice that it's bigger than the One X Player, but it's a lot lighter than the One X Player. So again, it feels really good to hold. And I think something that stands out with the design is this back grip here. When you hold it, it snugs really well in the hands. And again, I think it's really light. So when you're playing, you can get long playing sessions without this device feeling too heavy. Originally, when I saw this design, I was concerned with the analog placement, but I do have to say I love the way it feels. Again, when you are holding this, it's perfect placement here. I was also concerned with the D-pad here and the B button here because it comes to the edge, but I do have to say, it's not an issue. You can hit these buttons and it feels really comfortable. And you have the trackpad here, and I was really concerned about the way this will work and feel, but I have to say it feels really good and has some little vibration to it. So when you're scrolling around and clicking, it almost feels like you're using a real touchpad. So I really like that. The Steam button and the menu button are well placed. So if we look up to the top, you have your volume rocker here, you have a headphone jack, you have fan, you have a USB-C, so you can use this to charge. You can also use it to attach to a monitor. You have your power button. I love the triggers, the L1, L2, R2, and R1. Really, really comfortable. So let's take a look at the bottom here. You have your micro SD card. Fits really well there. And so this is the back. These are custom button, and again, this is the fan here, and like I said earlier, the grip, which I really enjoy. So that is the design in the nutshell. All right, so let's take a look at some of the specs here. This is a Zen 2 CPU at 2.4-3.5 gigahertz. The GPU is 8 RDNA. The RAM is 16 gig LPDDR5. The storage, the one that I have here, is a 256 gigahertz. And I do have a 512 gig micro SD card installed. The screen size is a 7-inch 2800 by 860 Hz display. It has a 3.5mm stereo jack. It has a 40 WHR battery, which estimate 2 to 8 hours, depending on what you're using this device for. The video output when docked can showcase up to 4K 120 Hz, depending on what monitor that you're using. It has a micro SD expansion. It uses Bluetooth 2.0 and 3.1. It has an HDMI display port, and it has 5 gigs Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 5.0. That is the specs of this device. All right, so we're going to turn this on and give you guys a look at the display. So once you boot it up here, something you notice is that this is running SteamOS. So something you see here is all the games that you have previously played stands out to you. So if you scroll down, they just give you some update about what's new on Steam. If you scroll to the right, pressing the R1 button, you can go to your friends. You can see what your friends are playing and what they're up to. Scroll again, you get your recommended. It recommends games to you. Now the cool thing here is that they have a Steam button. And so once you push that, you have more options to choose from. So for instance, the library option here, if you push the library, it gives you great games on deck, meaning that the games that you do have in your Steam library that runs great on deck. If you scroll to the right, it showcases all of your Steam games here. Scroll to the right, it has all the games that you have installed on your device. So there's also something called collections and something called non-stream, meaning if you use the desktop, which I'll show you here, and you download some stuff there, it can show up here. So good stuff overall. So if you go to the store, it takes you to the Steam store. It shows you what's great on deck. It shows you the store home, and pretty much here's where you can purchase games that you want to play. And it's pretty simple. Once you click a game that you want, you just push purchase, enter your payment method, and the game is ready for you to install on this device. And then you have your friends chat, you have your media here, and then you can check out your downloads, games that you currently downloading. So you see here, I have Doom Eternal downloading. And then you have your settings here, which you can mess around with. So a lot to go over here when it comes to settings, and then you have your power, and here's where you'll switch to the desktop, which I'll showcase here in a bit. But I do want to show you guys some other things. So this little menu button here opens up more options for you guys. So you can come here, you can see all your notifications, you can see your friends and what they're currently playing. You can go to settings, and man, this part here stands out. So you don't have to like pause the game or make adjustment. You can just push this button and fly, and you can just mess around with your display and all that good stuff. So battery is pretty impressive. So if you come here, you can mess around with the performance. So once you do this, they have different modes, and what this does is it showcases your FPS count here and how your CPU and GPU are doing. So it's pretty cool, and the help. So that is a quick look at the Steam and the menu button. Something else I want to showcase is the desktop. So this has a desktop. You go to power, you go to switch to desktop mode, and this offers like a Linux experience for you to just browse the internet and mess around with the Linux OS like you've seen here. So this is a little wonky for me. I'm just going to be honest. There are times when the cursor doesn't, work, and you try to open something up and just doesn't open. So it's a little buggy. And then something else to notice in this mode, the keypad doesn't work. So for instance, if you're trying to cloud game, playing something like Google Stadia, Xbox Cloud Gaming, right now you cannot use the dedicated keyboard for that. I heard that they were working in the past, so can't wait to see what that looks like. But yeah, this is like your normal Linux, as you can see here. It's pretty awesome that this is just included in this device. So if you want to go home, you just click this, and it should take you back to the Steam UI. All right, so now that I've showed you guys what the UI looks like, we're going to play some games and show you guys what games actually look like running on this device. So this is God of War, a game that I've installed. I'm just going to open it up and play it for you guys and show you guys what the performance looks like. All right, so as you've seen here, this is God of War running on the Steam Deck. So if you go to settings, and if you go to graphics, something you notice is that this is a full PC, and this is a full PC game. So you have access to some graphical settings. You can set it on original, medium, and you have options to just mess around with things if you choose. But I'm just going to leave it the way it's preset, and I'm just going to go to continue. And something you see here is how beautiful this 7-inch screen is. I'll be honest with you, I had my doubts when I heard this was 7-inch. Again, I have the One X player, which is at 8.4-inch at 1440p. Something that stands out with the Steam Deck is that this has a custom AMD graphics card. So performance-wise in here is pretty solid. So look up here, something you see. And something you see here with the original mode is I'm getting 30 plus FPS as I'm playing this. And as you can see, graphically it looks really impressive. So this 7-inch 800p display really pops out to USC gaming here, and it's pretty good on the battery again when you're comparing this to something like the One X player. And so I do want to showcase some other stuff. So again, if you hit this menu button and you come here, again, you can just make adjustment to on the fly with your settings. But if you come to performance, you can increase the performance to give you more overlay here to really get in depth of actually what your CPU is doing. But just to give you guys a heads up, it drains your battery faster. And if you come here, you can set your FPS as well. And here you can turn on TDP, and you can mess with the scaling filter. And then you can also mess with the FSR. So again, a lot of customization here when you're gaming. Something you see here is that this looks really good and runs really smooth on this device. And I have some videos in this channel showcasing some games running, and we're gonna have more videos coming. So definitely make sure that you subscribe to this channel. I am really impressed by the way this device handles games, and I'll be comparing this to the One X player too, just to showcase the difference when it comes to performance. But yeah, guys, this is absolutely incredible, and it's pretty cool to see that gaming has come this far, that you're able to play some really impressive PC games at a really great frame rate, and you can take these games on the go. I feel like this device is going to revolutionize PC gaming like the Nintendo Switch revolutionized handheld gaming. So this is God of War running on the Steam Deck. Alright fellas, so just want to give you guys my final verdict. Like I was saying earlier, this device I believe is a game changer for the PC market. Steam has done something incredible with this device. Again, I own the One X Player and I've tried the AI Neo, and I have to say hands down for the price, there's no other device that comes close to this. When it comes to gaming performance, this device runs games like a beast. Again, this is the new God of War, and to be able to play this originally and still get the FPS count that you get in is really incredible. And the fact that this is a custom layout here to where you can see how your device is really doing as you're playing, that is a huge plus. I would say they still have a lot of work to do here. For instance, lately Windows is lately they just released drivers for the Windows, and also when you go on Linux with this device, the buttons still don't work. So there's still updates that needs to be had with this device. But for what it is right now, this device is a game changer. I cannot wait for the updates. I cannot wait for the future versions of this device. And pricing wise, this is really affordable. They have a $400 variant, which comes with 64 gig storage. They have a $530 model with 256. That's currently what you're seeing right here. And they have a 650 model that comes with 512 and anti-glass screen. But even for the 64 gigs, if you were to get that and get a 512 micro SD card, it's going to be cheaper than the 530 price point, and that is a good entry for this device. Alright fellas, just want to showcase this, having a great time with this device, and I would highly recommend it. Final thing I want to say, shout outs to Steam for including a case with this device and a charger. In 2022, it's really sad when you buy a premium device and you don't even get a charger. But the fact that a charger and a case was included with this purchase for the price point is really, really good. Alright fellas, hope you like this. Again, subscribe to this channel for more Steam Deck coverage. Appreciate you guys. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Till next time fellas, peace out.